Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The Miami Hurricanes land a massive commitment in the 2024 class and four-star wide receiver Ny Carr from the state of Georgia. Now, I get not the best last 24 hours for Miami Hurricane fans. That being said, we continue to say this. The future is very, very bright from a talent acquisition standpoint for the Miami Hurricanes, continuing to build a really strong class in 2024, already off to a really good start in 2025. Excited to get into Ny Carr and what he brings to the table for the Miami Hurricanes fans. Now, before we get into it, just want to say thank you to you guys, and especially the Miami fans. We've talked a ton of transfer portal, recruiting, on the field football for Miami. You guys have shown a ton of support, and I get not a great last 24 hours. Brutal last 24 hours, quite frankly. But the support you guys show the boys really does mean a lot. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into Ny Carr, who I think it's important to have this conversation when you're talking recruiting. And a lot of recruiting talk gets dominated by track times, height and weight, your athletic ability. And sometimes I feel like not enough emphasis is put on, is this guy a good football player, and does he put it on the film on Friday nights? Ny Carr is one of those guys. You take a look at the production over 3 years in the state of Georgia at the highest level of competition as a sophomore. 40 catches, 862 yards, 13 touchdowns. Junior year, 62 catches, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. And as a senior, only through 5 games, 34 catches, 589 yards, and 9 touchdowns through 5 games. This is a guy that puts it on the field and is just an absolute playmaker in multiple different ways. Now, we're going to turn on the film in a second, but what we're about to see, I kind of watched the film, took some notes. One, extremely versatile. Line him up in the slot, line him up in the boundary. I see him being an elite kind of slot dude at the next level, but can do it everywhere on the football field. And then second, the way he wins. He can win vertically, just absolutely putting the Jets on and kind of winning vertically down the field. He can win after the catch. You can dump off a screen pass. He's going to make multiple people miss. Extremely fluid mover with the ball in his hands. And he also wins with his releases and separation. I mean, this is a guy that creates separation early and often in his route. And you know that's a quarterback's best friend. When you're sitting there and you have a wide receiver that can create separation quickly and give you an open target, that's what you want, and that is what Ny Carr brings to the table. Let's turn on the film a little bit and just get a sense of what Ny Carr is bringing. Again, this is a senior season, highest level of Georgia high school football, and this dude just seems different out there. Motioning out to the boundary, he's just going to win with absolute speed. And again, you're going to see multiple different ways he can learn. Little stun and go right by the cornerback, ball a little bit underthrown, tracks back to it, makes someone miss, and then he's off to the races again. Guy that can win separation after the catch with his speed. So many different ways that you can use him in an offense. Lining up in the slot here. Little stutter step, and he's gone. And just throw it up. Ny Carr is going to go track it down, make a play. Another thing that kind of you notice is really good tracking the football, which a lot of guys have all the speed in the world. How well can they track the football and go make a play on it? Ny Carr is certainly a guy that can do that. Little screen, a crazy catch, by the way. I mean, like the video lags a little bit, but you go back and watch that. Just an absolute insane catch. You're going to get a little slip screen here. One hand reaches down, makes people miss. Again, extremely fluid mover with the ball in his hands. Gets it done. Could have turned this kid on all day. Little stunt and go, really good release. Throw the ball up. I'm going to track it. Go win a contested combat catch. Ny Carr, and these highlights are only through 5 games, which is the most impressive thing. Little screen again, make you miss. Safety, bad angle. Hard to get a good angle on Ny Carr with all the speed that he has. Another touchdown. This dude's a touchdown machine. 9 touchdowns through 5 games. Creates a little separation. Uses his body. Goes to work after the catch. Ny Carr, an extremely good get for the Miami Hurricanes. You take a look at what Miami's doing in 2024. A top 20 class right now. And what's the conversation that we've had with a lot of Miami fans is, this class is just getting started in terms of how I think it ends come in December and come February when National Signing Days kind of roll around, right? You take a look at all the talk we did with Miami and the 5-star visitors and the top 100 guys that were on campus for the Hurricanes this summer, And a lot of them said, when you listen to the interviews about this Miami program, is, yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Miami. And if this is a team that's going in the right direction and it looks like they're a national championship caliber team in the next couple of years, this is a place I want to be. What I think Miami's showing right now is they're certainly going in the right direction. I get last night, inexcusable loss to Georgia Tech. We already talked about that. That being said, you throw away that Georgia Tech game, and even you include that Georgia Tech game where they played extremely ugly and still outgained them by 200 yards and still should have won that game. This is a Miami team that is clearly being built and going in the right direction. The talent is there. And I'm telling you right now, I really do think come the end of November into December, when it's time to finally sign the papers to go to school, I think Miami is going to be not only on flip watch. Ny Carr, essentially flip, was committed to Georgia, and Miami comes in and lands the commitment. But a lot of these guys who are uncommitted, like Miami, I really do think is an attractive destination. Again, you look at the wide receiver, you look at the offensive playmaking position for Miami. JoJo Trader, one of the most dynamic players in this class. Kevin Riley, a top running back in this class. You scroll down, Chance Robinson having a phenomenal game or a phenomenal season for St. Thomas Aquinas. And then Elijah Lofton, one of my favorite players, 6'2", 220, kind of reminds me of a guy like Brevin Jordan. You look at the offense and the amount of playmakers that are going to be on the Hurricanes team the next couple of years, you got to be really excited about what this offense is going to be able to get done. Again, tough 24 hours. At least we can talk about a massive commitment for the Hurricanes in this 2024 class. Miami fans, can't thank you guys enough for rocking with the boys. If you do enjoy the content, again, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.